Okay, thank you so much, and good morning, a warm good morning to all of you. My name is Shalil. I lead the modern work business for DN startups and BFSI for India. So happy to see most of you guys in this call. In the next few minutes, I'm going to talk specifically on workplace and about AI. So if you take a flashback around 5 years back, just post COVID, we had this new term called as hybrid work, which came into existence. And anytime, anywhere, any device became the norm, and people started using that thing to connect to the workplace. But in the last, I would say 16 to 18 months, we started seeing a new trend called as AI, right? And I think every one of us have heard this term AI. It is right from a frontline worker to a information worker to a boardroom conversation to a CXO. Sometimes I think it is the most overused word in today's context, but yes, AI is there, and AI has becoming a part of our work, a daily workplace. And this we are seeing this trend as AI at work. That's a new trend. We are now seeing that it's slowly but surely catching up in our workplace, which is called as AI at work. If you also see, when we look at our research, 75% of people are already using AI at work. And if you see in your own surroundings, in your environment, I'm sure a lot of you or your colleagues would be using some sort of AI. Could be consumer grade or could be non-IT approved tools like a Chat GPT, DeepSeek, Perplexity. But yes, most of the people whom we have interviewed or we have spoken in our customers, they have already started using AI, irrespective of whether the IT approves or whether they are okay to share the data on the consumer side. But yes, people are using it in their day-to-day life. And almost 50% of them have started using AI in the last 6 months. So that's our research, which has shown in the last few years. Also, when we started looking, when AI came into existence, people started using AI mostly for personal productivity, for getting more smarter, uh, creating more creative documents. So it was more personal. But when we started talking to leaders, we came to know that for AI to become mainstream, it's not just personal. It has to really, really impact business outcomes. That means it has to show top line growth. That means it has to start generating revenue. At the same time, it should also hit bottom line margins, right? And employee being at the center. So for us in Microsoft, AI is not just a tool, it's a platform, it's a canvas, which helps us to take care of the four strategic imperatives, which is to enrich employee experience in workplace, to wow the customers, to reinvent the customer engagement. How can we reshape or remodel a business process? At the same time, how can we introduce new products and be always on top of the innovation? So for us, if AI is able to impact these four strategic priorities, that is how AI will become mainstream. And hence, we have a vision in Microsoft that every employee has to have a Copilot, and to transform every business, there will be an agent. So if you see across all the horizontals, which is sales, marketing, a developer, a customer service, legal, HR, or an industry, and in this case, it will be mostly the digital natives or startups, there will be an every employee which is having a copilot, and every business would be transformed using agents. I'm introduced two words now, folks. One is copilot and second is agents. I'll slowly demystify what are these things. So for Microsoft, M365 Copilot is the UI for AI because we are given a name for this AI. How do we access this AI? So the name for from our perspective is the M365 Copilot. That becomes the gateway to start uh, showing us the magic of AI. And then there will be a plethora of agents, a constellation of agents, which will help us to redefine, reshape business process. If I want to give an analogy, think of Copilot as your smartphone, which is basically helps you become more productive. It's your personal assistant. It makes you look more smarter. And the small apps within your smartphone, I think like there's an agents. They are there to solve business process. They are there to reshape business process, right? And Copilot Studio, which is used in the middle layer, that is where you can create and you can distribute agents within the IT parlance. So this is how we are reshaping the workplace using Copilot, which is being the UI for AI. To start with, the Copilot will become like a personal assistant wherein you can drive your own productivity, creativity using Copilot Chat, Copilot M3 apps. And then once we start getting into the personal productivity, you can start using Copilot for team. You can start using Copilot for your persona. It could be an HR persona. It could be a developer persona. It could be a IT help desk persona. But it all starts with from a personal to move towards a team to a group of people trying to solve a business problem. And last but not the least, we'll start having the agentic AI framework, also a part of the Copilot framework. So when I talk about agents, it can be as simple as a retrieval agent, or it can start moving from retrieval to a task-based agent. And finally, we can also have a combination of autonomous agents. So today, these three agents are possible within the Copilot, and we have some exciting demos lined up in the next few minutes. If I want to give a quick snapshot of how this Copilot looks like, when I say UI to AI, this is the one of the version, how it looks like. If you see, this is an app of M365 Copilot. And on the top, if you see a work and web, that is where you can toggle between your work and your web. When I click on work, that means it gets grounded to the work data. And when I say work data, it is all about your OneDrive, your SharePoint, your email, your Teams. So all the information which Copilot starts to try to do reasoning, it's as per your own data. So it has got that context. When you toggle the switch to web, that means it will be grounded to web. It will start taking the information which is grounded on the internet and give you information related to that. On the right hand side, you will start seeing some agents and you can start. And as I said in the beginning, this will be a constellation of agents where you can start creating your own agents, Microsoft provider agents, third party agents from ServiceNow, SAP, Darwinbox. So you can start building all the agents on the right hand side and make sure that you are able to reshape, redefine your business process. It's available on Windows, iOS, and Android. So it's not just. Yeah. There's a question. Okay. So again, it's available on the multi OS. So our vision from Microsoft perspective is we don't want to restrict AI to very few or the top people. We want to make sure that AI becomes a part of the fabric of workplace. Every individual needs to have an AI. We are launching two copilots, which one is the M365 Copilot and second is M365 Copilot Chat. And next few slides, I will tell you what is exactly the difference. But our endeavor is that we don't want AI to be restricted to few. We want to democratize AI so that each and everybody in an organization, whether it's a frontline worker or a information worker, is able to use AI to its full potential. If you see the slide, this gives you a one slider view of the differentiation between M365 Copilot Chat and M365 Copilot. If you see on the left-hand side, we have got four rows: chat, agents, personal assistant, and Copilot control system. And on the right-hand side, you have these three columns, which is the M365 Copilot Chat, M365 Copilot Chat with consumption, and the last column is the M365 Copilot. Let me quickly try to demystify these three, and then maybe we can go into details in the Q&A mode. The first column, the M365 Copilot Chat, is the free web-grounded chat based on the GPT-4o LLM. It gives you all the data which is there on the web, and you can start using NLP to start querying this web-grounded data. At the same time, you can start creating agents. You can start discovering agents, and these agents can be grounded on the web. Okay. When I talk about M365 Copilot Chat, it also enables you to have agents which are grounded on your web data, which is OneDrive, SharePoint, email, Teams, right? At the same time, you can also create autonomous agents. The last column, which is our heroes queue called as M365 Copilot, which is a $30 per user per month. It gives you each and everything which M365 Copilot Chat gives, but at the same time, it also gives you something called as a personal assistant. That means a Copilot in all the M365 apps which you use, be it Teams, be it email, be it Word, Excel, PowerPoint, so that you can summarize, you can start reasoning your data within a team. So you can recap a meeting, you can start summarizing a long thread of emails. So all those information that comes bundled with the M365 Copilot. Also, you also start getting a lot of analytics, which are the last three rows to start measuring usage and adoption. Because when you start deploying AI, the CXO, the IT head, the board wants to see how is AI being utilized across the organization. Is an ROI, is an adoption pattern. So those rich analytics are available with the M365 Copilot. So this slide gives a high level view of the free Copilot chat, which is available for everyone, and then the $30 per user per month Copilot, which has lot of features specifically around M365 apps and specifically around the work grounded data. So I just wanted to have this slide in your back of the mind, and when we move into the demos. Um, that's it from my side, Gautam, if you want to take it over.
Absolutely. Shalil, thank you so much. It's a really nice way of setting up the stage. We talked about three things, right? Free, metered, and paid SKU for $30. What we have planned to all of us is that why don't we actually do a live demo touching upon each of these categories? Starting with me, I'm going to challenge myself to create an agent live in front of you all. Hopefully it works. You know, I'm gonna share my screen and then let's go about. Yeah. So let's go about creating the agent. If you have any questions, please feel free to unmute, or if you want to do it in chat, we can do it as well. So right now I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. Hopefully my screen is visible. So agent creation over coffee. This is the title which we want to do it. We want to show you how to create a very simple agent. I know IT help desk or the IT self-help is one of the most common use case which we hear from across our organization customer base. So we thought, why don't we actually pick that use case and show you in live demo? And with that said, the agenda is here, very simple. So an IT self-help assistant agent, which is helps to streamline your IT support experience for your end user, resolving the very common IT issues like how to reset password, how to set up the Wi-Fi, what is about data security, how to request for an access cards, etc., etc. So this is the very typical use case which we hear across our customer base. And now with Copilot Chat for free, we want to show you live how to literally create that particular IT self-help agent and what goes in about creating an agent, etc. So basically speaking, there are multiple ways to create an agent, as you all might know. Just to recap, right? We have Copilot Studio Agent Builder, which is like low-code solution to create the agent. We also have something like Pro Code Solutioning Agent, where you can use Teams Toolkit to write code and create an agent. And we also have Copilot Studio 3 UI, which we call this low code solution through declarative agent, where you can create and also add actions to it, etc., etc. Right? So there are multiple ways. Now, today for my demo and the subsequent demo, which my colleagues will also be taking you through, we are gonna use an agent builder to create an agent for IT self-help. And there are two parts to it, right? One is how to define a description for an agent. This is the agent description which we will be, adding to the agent creation experience. And the very crucial part is about agent instructions. I would say agent instruction is the backbone of any Copilot agent. Literally, it dictates how the framework of an agent should be, what should be the request and response have to be, how the agent have to respond in a certain way. So literally it's a backbone for any agent. A very good instructions literally helps uh, to make sure the agent behaves very efficiently. So this is the common two parts of it, and I'm gonna literally use the same set of description and agent instructions while I create my agent. With that said, I will, bring up the slides, bring up my real, test lab tenant over here. If you see, I'm gonna just close it out. This is my Copilot. You might have seen this UI multiple times, all of two together, right? So this is the agent builder experience we are having. Now, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna do a create agent experience wherein I'm gonna create an agent from scratch, wherein I'm gonna configure it on my own to create an agent, the same IT self-help agent. Let's click on configure. I'm not going to use any template, so I'm gonna name my agent as IT self-help. Okay, and description is what we just touched upon. I'm going to use little help of clipboard where I have already copied the set of descriptions we have, and it's coming up. So I'm going to add the descriptions over here. So the description, something like, this is my IT help desk agent, and this is what it does, etc., etc. So I just added the description. The description should populate in my right pan. Whatever we do, all the starter prompts, the description will populate over here the moment we do it async. And this is the description which we just did. It just does an auto saving if you see to the right side top. uh, and going forward, I will go ahead and add instructions to it, right? While it does an autosave, I'm gonna choose uh, the experience to go ahead and add the set of instructions which we just touched upon. The elaborate way of instructions, basically we are saying, hey, you are an IT self-help agent, and this is how you actually do it. So maintain a friendly, professional tone to provide clear and supportive assistance, to provide step-by-step instructions without unnecessary technical jargon. Remember, this agent is for everyone in the org, so we don't want to add a lot of technical jargons in the response. So we are also instructing the agent to behave in a certain way, and the tone and the clarity. So basically, if there is any contact details you need to provide, I'm also putting those in the instructions as well. So literally speaking, we are instructing the agent how the agent have to behave, how the agent have to respond to a query or the prompt, and everything under instructions. So this is the way. This is the simple, I would say, like two-step part of the equations where you can add description and instructions to it. And now let's come to the starter prompt. So uh, for a new user who is very new to the Copilot ecosystem, he has to be instructed what sort of prompts he can already add, so that you can just do a simple click and start interacting with an agent. Let's suppose, let's start with password reset, right? Very common, very common query from end users to an IT help desk, how to do a password reset. So I'm gonna add that as my first prompt, just to show up, so that whenever there is a password which maybe I'm forgot or someone user have unable to log into their Outlook or Teams. So we want to help them out. This is the first starter prompt to start with, followed by I want to add one more prompts, or maybe like three prompts to start with. So I'm going to pick one more prompts to start with. So it could be, uh, Wi-Fi, like, I'm unable to register my device for a Wi-Fi connection. How do I do about it? So I want to create a prompt for the same, and let me enter the prompt saying that register my Wi-Fi device, and I'm gonna do a message. The entire message, goes about creating that particular prompt, saying that, hey, I'm a new employee. My device isn't automatically connected. What should I do? Help me out on that. Okay, so these are the prompts we can use. Probably, I'm thinking we can add one more prompt so that it becomes like three, and it's not very, short. I can go and add one more prompt in my window. So let's choose, I think, yeah, it's all about connecting my laptop to the network. So how do I get connected with that network? So maybe it's something to do with how to, I might have laptop, mobile phone. How do I do that Intune connection, etc., etc. So that's the, you know, uh, prompt, one more prompt, very similar to the previous one, but still it has its own flavors. So now we have like 3 set of prompts which has been entered. So just to recap, what we did was that we created a description, the title for that agent, followed by instruction how the agent have to behave, which forms the backbone of the particular agent. And we also have the starter prompts created with it. And we do have actions, knowledge, lot of capabilities still can be added. For starter, we are not getting to that angle, but my colleagues will touch upon those, like adding knowledge, adding some external third-party data to the connector to that agent itself. So everything will be subsequently covered. But for now, I'm gonna keep it very simple. For a starter, for someone who is pretty new to that ecosystem of Copilot, how to create an agent. So this is what it goes through. Now I'm gonna select create. Hopefully the agent gets created. The agent is creation happens in the backend, and fingers crossed. So we should, well, post the agent creation, we will have an option how to share an agent, how to, how to share an agent for the entire org, specific people, or only to me. Those options will come up like sharing settings, and we can directly go to the agent. Okay, there we are. So basically, this is the agent creation experience. If you see, we have that agent link and we have how the link works. I can go ahead and click here to change the sharing settings, whether that agent works only for me or for the entire org or etc etc. For now, for the demo, let's go ahead and go to that agent. Okay. Remember, we never did anything fancy here. We just created an agent through a IT self-help agent, and the agent is there for us. And let's go ahead and pick one prompt and see how that response comes up. So now I say, I forgot my email password. How can I reset it? So this is the prompt, and let's see how Copilot is going to respond. Okay, beautiful. So this is exactly what we instruction. If you see, it starts with, hey, I understand in a professional tone, in a polite tone. It just expresses itself out based on the instructions we added, right? It just gives a small short thing. Then it gives elaborate steps how to go about resetting the password, right? It gives a set of instruction. It's like do a self-help kind of a thing. However, it still go ahead and do that. Hey, you can contact the IT support if you encounter any issues. Still, you can follow this, but still, if you are stuck, you can go ahead and contact the IT support. So this is the exact thing which we can do go about. Now, in the interest of time, I will hand it over to my colleague, who's Raghav. Now we saw, agent creation experience. Now, my colleague Raghav will talk about more about adding an extra knowledge source to it, right? How to create an agent and go about it. So this is the Raghav. Do you mind? You want to take over from here, and you can go forward.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
Stealing screen, Gautam.
absolutely. You can steal my screen. I'm stopping my sharing.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Gautam. Thank you so much for the awesome demo. So everyone, what Gautam just showed right now, that comes under the free tier, so Copilot for all, and all that is available right now, right? So you can go ahead and start your journey with the agents. But let's say you come to me and say, "Hey, Raghav, I want to extend this scenario further, right? I have more use cases. Perhaps I have an ITSM system I wanted to connect to. I have SharePoint where I save my knowledge sources, my data, which I want to ground the agent on. So this is where sort of the metering and licensing part comes in, and I want to touch upon both of that. Uh, so metering, again, you can over and above your web, your instructions, you can now ground it on your SharePoint data. Your work data with metering enabled, you can add connectors and sort of connect it to your ITSM system. In licensed tier, that's where again the work grounding comes in, and then you can further surface your agents, in different surfaces. Your Microsoft PowerPoint, Word, Excel. You can use something called Context IQ, where you can reference your work files as context to your agent and use that to reason over it. So I want to display like the metering bit in action, and I would like to like go ahead with a demo for that. So just building on top of what Gautam displayed, right? So I have the same IT self-help agent, and I now want to add SharePoint grounding to it, right? So I have my knowledge sources on SharePoint, and I want to ground it on that. Uh, so just looking at an example, right? So let's say a user comes in and asks some information that is in a SharePoint file. How can I request a new device? The agent, it's SharePoint uses SharePoint grounding and answers that. And in fact, I would like to show you in action how this can be done. So, shifting over to my agent builder. So this is just what we saw, what Gotham just built right now. So I've just added a nice, icon to it. I've added some starter prompts to it. Yeah. So see, right now there are no knowledge sources to it, and I have a SharePoint site set up where I have an IT self-help resource document. And what I want this agent to do is to reason over it and ground my agent on this SharePoint site. So I use this SharePoint site. I add it as one of the knowledge sources. It takes a couple of seconds. Uh, Grounds my agent on SharePoint, and now you can see under knowledge sources, I can see IT self-help. Let's now try it out. So I go to the document and let's ask for one of the questions, right? So I was uh, looking at this. For example, the user wants to ask, how can I, how do I resolve my connectivity issues, right? Who do I contact in case of connectivity issues? So I have a starter prompt already set up in that case. So I can use this starter prompt here. Let's try it out. I hope the demo gods are with us. Okay, yeah. So you can see here, it reasons over the SharePoint document, and it says that, hey, in case of connectivity issues, this is the email, this is the contact. So this is how you can sort of add your SharePoint grounding to it. Switching back to the presentation, I want to display some more capabilities there. Uh, so, for example, you say that, hey, I want this agent to connect to my ITSM systems as well, right? So, this is one of the examples that has been set up. So, for example, the user prompts the agent that I am uh, unable to connect to company VPN. It has a connector, it has an API setup, so it knows what details are required to create a ticket. So it asks the user, hey, give me your device type, give me the error message, give me the details. So I share the details. It's a Windows 11 laptop, and I'm trying to connect. This is what's happening. The agent understands that. The agent, sort of does its magic at the back end, triggers your action, triggers your connector, and it's able to create a ticket. It's able to share the ticket, and user can go ahead later and ask for updates. Where is my ticket? What's my ticket status? And of course interact with your ITSM agents. So this is something that's possible when we go to the meter tier, right? When we enter the meter tier, this is something we can also build on top of what Gautam showed. Going to the license scenario, this is Shalil also touched upon this. This is the hero SKU. This is where you get your tenant grounding. This is where you get access to agents across different surfaces. So let's see that if I want to extend the scenario further, right? Let's say I want this agent to work for a IT manager as well, where let's say his scenario is to create an IT report, so they can surface this agent on, let's say, a PowerPoint. And since it's connected to my IT systems, I can ask it to provide some quick updates on incidents. I can ask it to fetch some lists. Underneath it, it's again connecting a trigger, connecting APIs, whatever it needs to do. It fetches the information, and then and there I can sort of it helps with report creation, right? It sort of literally becomes your co-pilot. Another scenario is context IQ. For example, Under the license tier, you have a capability for using your work document. So it could be a document from email, it could be a document from chat, and you can share it with the agent and use it as context to the agent, right? So here I'm mentioning that, hey, this is the incident report. Can you create a chart comparing last month and this month's data, right? So it goes on, it creates a chart again. These are, for example, in this case, it's using code interpreter capabilities. So it's able to sort of generate chart. We have image generation capabilities as well that you can give to your agent and use that. Again, one of the examples, can you share some insights on task redistribution, uh, leaving out the resource working on hardware issues, right? So it understands that what are your team redistribution tasks and what is the resource that's working on hardware issues based on your work data, based on your tenant grounding. So it understands the context of who you are and who you're working with, and this the agent takes in context and is able to answer to you that, hey, to reduce Alex's workload, can you should reassign network connectivity issues to another team and so on. Now, let's say if you come to me and say, "Hey, I don't use SharePoint. I have Google Drive that I use for my work." So this is where I would like to hand it over to my colleague in Beijing Ang, where he will display Google Drive being used as a graph connector in an agent. Over to you, Ang.
Uh, thanks, Rega. Can you hear me and see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
Oh, perfect. Uh, hey guys, we're happy to have the chance to present the Google Drive Graph connectors. This is Angao from STCA Copilot Graph Connector team, the product manager for Google Drive Graph Connector. So today I will walk through the whole experience of how to index the third-party data into the Copilot as well as the agent to provide a more holistic experience. And before that, my colleagues has provided a lot of context of the new Copilot agent experience. So as I mentioned, currently only actually we for enterprises, not all the data are stored in Microsoft first party. We you might have various platforms that are out of our areas. So this is why we have the product. And for guys who do not have too much context about Graph Connector, I would like to make a very quick introduction. Actually, Graph Connector is a type of data solution that index third-party data out of Microsoft. We index the necessary information from the targeted app, and we integrated its Microsoft Graph and the semantic index. With this connection, users and the AI are free to search and read the content from the third-party data. So as a result, user can freely to interact with the all sources data in different channels in Microsoft. For example, Copilot, Copilot Agent, the search in M365 and SharePoint, and as well as all the Copilot in different apps in Microsoft ecosystem. And we also have new functionalities, for example, the context IQ. Every time you input a slash, we might provide you some recommended files. And in the future, the third-party data will also be supported in this scenario. Yeah, this is what a Graph Connectors looks like. Yeah, here is the how to enable the graph connectors. You should be the Bing portal for M365 in the section search intelligence data sources, and every time when you create a data source, you will see the list of the graph connectors built by Microsoft. Up to this month, we have already released around 70 graph connectors built by Microsoft, which means you can manually create the connection with the target app just in Microsoft. You do not have to jump between different platforms. You only to make very necessary authentication and setup here, and then everything, and then the users in enterprises can experience the new agent and Copilot for third-party data. Yeah, as you can see in the Google Drive is already in preview status, and it was released in the end of last year, and currently, and we're going to make a graph available by end of July. Yeah, and let's quick make some intro for G Drive. I think I don't explain too much about what is G Drive. Very popular data storage platform provided by Google. And in our product, we, as I mentioned in the beginning, we crowd the data from Google Workspace, so users can see the data in Microsoft, in everywhere in Microsoft. But we not just do simple crawling. We already maintain the access from Google to protect the data securities for enterprises and every person. So you can choose to retain the permission control that you have in Google, and you can also purge the permissions and set the files public visible to everyone. So it depends on the preference and the real needs of your enterprise. And yeah, and with the third-party data, it can be freely and seamlessly ended to Copilot as well as agent. So with all of them, you will have a more holistic experience there. And later, let me here's a demo video of how the connector is set up, as well as some typical experience in Copilot and agent. I'll play the video.
Hello, everyone.
Can you hear the audio? Okay.
In this short video, we will introduce the Google Drive Graph Connector. We will cover the connector one-click setup, Copilot, and Copilot agent experience with the connector enabled. The new Copilot Graph Connector for Google Drive index files effortlessly with a new quick setup experience. With the right admin privileges and pre-configured Google Drive service account credentials, the user can complete the setup in seconds. The Google Drive connector can also support custom setup, in particular in terms of permissions, content, and crawl configurations. This flexibility ensures data security and reliability, enhancing the overall search and Copilot experience. Graph connectors enhance the Microsoft 365 Copilot user experience by providing unified access to a wide range of enterprise data, enabling more informed decision-making and increased productivity. This integration allows for seamless access to comprehensive insights, making it easier for users to find, summarize, and learn from their organizational content. Additionally, the customization options offered by Graph connectors ensure that organizations can tailor the integration to meet their specific needs. Integrating a Graph connector with Copilot Studio also empowers agents by enhancing data accessibility, improving collaboration, streamlining workflows, personalizing user experiences, providing real-time updates, and offering advanced analytical capabilities. This integration ensures agents can access and utilize information from multiple platforms effortlessly, share insights and updates, automate routine tasks, receive personalized recommendations, stay informed with real-time data, and leverage data analytics for deeper insights. Overall, it boosts productivity and fosters a more efficient and effective work environment. Hello.
Yeah, pretty short. And I saw you already have put some questions in chat. No worry, I will close all the open questions after the presentation, and I think we will have a specific QA sections. And the demo is really short. I'm not sure how much you have catched. So when the connection is successfully setup, you will see the connection list in the data sources. Yeah, and yeah, so for agent setup, you will see all the active connections built by your enterprise admin user, and remember to toggle it on if you would like to use this data source at the knowledge of your agent. Here I will quick walk through some typical scenario and prompt supported uh, by Google Drive. Or not Google Drive, I think it's for majority of the graph connectors. The very typical case is search. Comparing to the traditional search, the interaction in Copilot provided more powerful capabilities by semantic index, which means you can have more chance to use ambiguous search, not only by file name or other key information about the file. You can ask, hey, find the files that Gotham created for me yesterday, or find the tasks, the presentations then pending my review, because before that we have already crawling all the file data as well as the users signals to into our platform. So with all of them, AI can provide it a more accurate and collaborative response to you guys. So this is for search. And for summarize, here I'd like to highlight that we have supported most of the file types that exist in Google Drive today. So AI can not only search but read the content of the file. So they can make accurate summarization of the contents, especially for the long content. So it can definitely improve the efficiency for your read and understanding. Yeah, for example, here in this case, it's an ebook for Figma, how to use Figma. So you can see he has highlighted the two the important points of the book, and if you can also continue to ask him to provide more details of the book, so you can catch the key point of the book with a very short time. And last is about regenerate. It's very I think it's very common and flexible capabilities for all of a different type of graph connectors. And in this case, you can maybe for some typical cases, you can generate a training guide based on a policy document. You can ask AI to generate a purchase plan based on your budget report. And you can also ask it to maybe generate an email based on a problem statement, something like that. So you can feel free to imagine and unblock all the potential scenarios that Copilot and the agents would support in the future. Yeah, pretty much for my section. Yeah, I will pause here, and not sure if we can have a QA section here, Gotham, or we have this
Yeah, I
in the
think,
last section.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And thank you so much. The demo video clip, I know we just created a day before. It was very, very good. I would say fantastically done. I would say, you know, Google Drive team, it is one of the most, I know we got the pulse of our customers, and we got to know a lot of our customer base or having files and all sort of videos and repository in Google Drive. And there has to be a way for integration to bring those assets into MSFT ecosystem. That's exactly what we just shown to you. It's available for preview, so please make use of it. With that said, I'll hand it over the stage for Harish to cover about call to actions.
Hey, thank you so much, and Gautam. Fantastic session. So much goodness. And I think, Gautam, if I'm not wrong, the entire Google Drive connector, I think this is pretty exclusive, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm seeing it for the first time. So this is, I think, everybody's here, first day, first show for this. So thank you so much. Um, Based on everything that you've heard, I would like to share a few things that you can do as next steps for us to work together and get started on this entire agent and Copilot agent experience. Uh, First things is you can definitely explore agents that are sort of ready to use or ready to explore. And there are two places where you can get started. The agent builder, the create an agent button, if you have access to M365 Copilot already, when Gautam clicked it, he actually has templates that you can try out. So Gautam and Raghav, they were actually creating a IT self-help agent, which means they were actually creating an agent from scratch for whatever use case they had. But Microsoft has already published a whole set of templates based on signals and asks that we've received from multiple customers. So one place for you to get started right away is to actually explore some of these templates. And as soon as you click the template, all the instructions and the description, everything is already there. You can use it as is, or you can customize and start using them. Now, if your organization has access to Copilot Studio, again, the low-code tool for building agents, there are a number of agent templates there as well. Again, a way for you to sort of get going immediately. You don't have to build from scratch. Again, a lot of these agents are sample agents to give you an idea of how agents work, but a lot of them are also based on business scenarios which you can tap into and start using right away. So at a first level, if you are if you are not looking for ideas, but literally looking for things that are almost ready to use, you just want to explore them, try them out, these are really good places to start with. Now, if you're looking for ideas and inspirations because, hey, I've already tried out a few agents. Now, what are actually use cases that people are using out there? What I'm sharing to you right now are some of the most popular scenarios that we are working with alongside other customers. So a lot of your peers who are building agents and Copilot agents, these are the top scenarios that they are using, that they are trying out and implementing in their organization. Some of them are org-wide use cases like an IT self-help agent, which everybody might use. But in some cases, they are also building very department based or function based for like product teams or marketing teams or HR teams. So I'm just flashing this slide. Of course, we will share the recording and as much as possible of the content as well. But again, just for your inspiration, throwing a few ideas your way in terms of if you're looking for good scenarios to try out, I can guarantee you these are the things that your peers are already trying out. Third level, hey, you want to know more. You want to get a little bit more, I would say, deeper in terms of understanding everything that we've explained, but you want to have a discussion internally with your organization, or you want to have a discussion with us, but you would like to get up to speed on a lot of things. All these links are very valuable ones. I will share all of these in the chat and we will send it across in the email as well tomorrow. But I'm going to actually spend time on three of these, which are the success kits. So if you just give me 1 second, I'm going to try and bring this up. The first one is a Copilot Chat success kit. I think our extended team has done a great job in putting all of this together in a single place. I will throw this link on the chat as well, or some of my colleagues might. You will have this one-stop shop for you as a business leader or your IT team or any of your other functional teams or your dev team to try and understand what are all the scenarios? How can we go about using this? How should we try this out? All of it in one place for you to be successful. I think this is a fantastic sort of resource bank for you to try out. The second link is while we are already doing this session and we will try and do as many as we can. Microsoft is constantly running sessions on Copilot Chat for all users. So we'll share the link as well. It might not, I don't know if it will suit your time zone really well, but again, you can register and I know many of your global organizations, so colleagues from different time zones can join in. Detailed sessions on various facets of Copilot Chat and how you can use agents. Again, a plethora of sessions, really useful for you to check out. Now, depending on your persona, if you want to get into documentation, you really want to understand far more details of what is this Copilot for all? How can I enable Copilot agents for everybody? What does it entail? Many of you might be in different, I would say, stages of your journey with Copilot. Some of you might have already implemented, some of you are exploring and starting out and having a discussion with our teams. I will share this documentation link as well. In-depth documentation for your team to try out. I'm more of a documentation person. That's why I'm sharing this. So depending on your personality and what sort of material you're looking for, you've got documentation, you've got more sessions to attend to, or an entire end-to-end success kit with a whole playlist of YouTube videos as well for you to try out. So these are some things I thought I'll share. My last call to action is, hey, Harish, I got your ideas. Thanks for sharing the link. And I know how to try out the templates and ready-to-use agents. I actually want to have a deeper conversation with your team. 100%. I'm going to throw a link for a form in the meeting chat in a couple of minutes. And we'll also send the same form in an email tomorrow morning to everybody who's attended the meeting. Please reach out to us because you might want to have a deeper discussion, or you've already started to build an agent and you are probably like stuck in some sort of configuration mode, or you just want some guidance on how to complete it. Anything, it depends on wherever you are, or you have a business use case and you want to know how to go about it. Just reach out to us. You would need to fill in, I'm going to say, very, very simple information. In fact, I can show you the form right away. We're just looking for how to reach out to you, and if you have any scenarios in mind or questions in mind, so that we kind of come prepared for the call. So these are going to be my top actions for everybody on the call today. We'll share out the material and the link to the form as well. If you reach out to us, it helps us track on who's reaching out and who's taking care of reaching out to you as well from our side. And really looking forward to building agents with you and enabling Copilot for all in your organizations. Thank you. That's it from my side. Gautam, back to you.
Hey, thanks, Harish. Wonderful. To conclude, I think uh, you know all this resource which just Harish showed you, right? Adoption kit, the resources, blog post is going to be super helpful whether you are a business leader or a technical decision maker, or even a close working. End user use case, program manager, stuff like that. It's going to be super helpful for you. I would say just go ahead and bookmark it. Just to conclude, right? Copilot agents are a powerful tool. It can enhance your productivity, efficiency within your organization. And by creating a well-defined agents with clear instructions, you can empower your employees, customer experience, and streamline various business processes.